Imagine being trapped deep underground in absolute darkness with no idea if you'll ever see the light of day again. No food, no water, and no way out. Just the crushing weight of millions of tons of rock above you, sealing you inside a tomb of despair. This is not a horror story. This is the true, harrowing ordeal of 33 miners who spent 69 days buried alive. How did they survive the impossible? And what really happened in the depths of the mine? Stay with us as we unravel the gripping tale of the 33. Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more gripping true stories like this one. On August 5, 2010, in the Atacama Desert of Chile, the San Jose mine was alive with the sounds of drilling, machinery, and the voices of hardworking miners. It was just another routine day, until the unthinkable happened. Without warning, a deep, gut-wrenching rumble tore through the tunnels. The mountain above them seemed to groan as if awakening from a deep slumber. Rocks the size of cars came crashing down, and a monstrous cloud of dust and debris swallowed everything in its path. The men ran, but within moments their only escape route was sealed. The main access tunnel had collapsed, trapping 33 miners nearly 700 meters, or 2,300 feet, below the surface. Panic set in. Were they all alive? How long before someone realized they were missing? Would they ever see their families again? At first, the men tried to stay calm. They checked for injuries, called out names, and counted one by one until they confirmed all 33 were alive. But their relief was short-lived. As the dust settled, they realized the horrifying truth. They were trapped in a cavernous chamber, with no way out, no access to fresh air, and only a meager supply of food. Each man had his own battle with fear. Some wept quietly in the darkness, others screamed in frustration, punching the rock walls that imprisoned them. But one thing was clear, they had to find a way to survive. Their leader, Foreman Luis Urzua, stepped up. He rationed the food, tiny spoonfuls of tuna, sips of milk, and a few biscuits per day. The men turned to their faith, praying together, sharing stories, and holding on to hope. Days passed, then weeks, and their bodies grew weaker. But they refused to give up. Above ground, their families and the Chilean government launched a massive rescue operation. Drilling teams worked tirelessly, but as the days dragged on, hope of finding the men alive began to fade. Then, after 17 agonizing days, a miracle happened. On August 22nd, a drill broke through to the chamber where the miners were trapped. The men heard the sound of metal piercing the rock, and they scrambled to their feet. They banged on the drill with whatever they could find, desperate to signal their existence. And when the drill was pulled back up, attached to it was a small note, written in red ink on a scrap of paper. Estamos bien en el refugio, los 33. We are well in the shelter, the 33. The world erupted in celebration. The miners were alive. The joy of discovery was quickly replaced by the harsh reality. The men were still buried alive, and the rescue would take time. Engineers estimated it would take months to drill a tunnel large enough to pull them out. Meanwhile, the miners had to endure their underground prison, fighting hunger, exhaustion, and psychological torment. They created a daily routine to stay sane. They exercised, told jokes, and even held small religious services. They recorded videos for their families, forcing smiles despite the pain in their eyes. Each man battled his own demons. Some feared they'd never see their children again. Others wondered if the rock above them would collapse before help arrived. But the worst enemy was time. They could hear the drilling above, but it was agonizingly slow. Their bodies shrank, their faces became hollow. Yet they clung to life, knowing that giving up was not an option. Finally, after 69 long days, the breakthrough came. On October 13, 2010, the world watched as the first miner, Florencio Avalos, was hoisted to the surface in a specially designed capsule. His family wept as he emerged from the darkness into the arms of his loved ones. One by one, they ascended. Some shouted in joy, others collapsed in exhaustion. When the last miner, Luis Urzua, stepped out of the capsule, the rescue was complete. Against all odds, all 33 men had survived. Their ordeal had changed them forever. They spoke of the suffocating fear, the moments of hopelessness, and the unbreakable bond they had formed. Some struggled to return to normal life, haunted by the memories of their underground prison. Others became symbols of resilience and hope, sharing their story with the world. The story of the 33 is one of survival, courage, and the power of human will. It's a reminder that even in the darkest places, the human spirit can shine brighter than ever. What would you have done in their place? Could you have survived? If you found this story gripping, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible true stories.